Hey, so in this video, we're going to talk about Ads Uploader best practices when using the API route. So the aim of this video is to set you up with the best infrastructure for uploading your ads through the API. So we're going to start with actually uploading some files into Ads Uploader. I've got a mix of images, videos, some with different aspect ratios, some with thumbnails, and we're just going to upload all of them into the tool. So these are now uploading to the Meta Ads library, and we can minimize that and actually continue working with the configuration. So if you've used Ads Uploader before, you'll know that we can go over to the Select a Meta Ads Copy Settings From option, and then you can choose a campaign, ad set, and ad from within your connected account. And that will be the ad that we load the settings from and apply those same settings to your new media. But the Meta API is extremely complex, and where things could go wrong is if the ad that you've selected to copy settings from is particularly complicated. So best practice, what I advocate doing is actually going over to Ads Manager and going into the campaign that you actually want to create ads in, and for each campaign, create a template ad. So I'll show you what I mean by this. So I'm actually going to go into here and I'm going to select this ad, and we're just going to create a new ad, and we're going to name it something that is recognizable to us. So I'm going to call this basic template. Okay. And now I'm going to select all the options that I would like my new ads to have. So I'm going to select the Facebook page, Instagram account. And now this is really important. So when we're cloning an ad, we want the infrastructure of the origin ad to be as simple as possible. Now, Ads Uploader does support complicated ad structures. It can clone off them, but what we see happen is Meta changes the API calls so differently depending on what options are selected within Ads Manager that sometimes it can get confused and muddled, and that's kind of the primary cause of errors in the application. Most people don't have an issue, but there are some edge cases where there are issues cloning. So that's why I'm a big advocate of creating templates. And we're going to save these templates as presets for future use in the app. And you'll see how that works in a second as well. So when it comes to the ad setup, just create something extremely basic. So you want this selected to manual upload, and you want to upload just a single image or video. I'd recommend just a single image. That's all you need. You can choose whether you want to have multi-advertising ads on or off, and you basically set this ad up as if this is the perfect structure of an ad that I would like to copy for my future ads, whether they be video or images. So you set your destination, you set your website URL, your display link, and then you can do your creative setup. So you can include a site link, you can include a catalog, and I'll show you that in a second. But what's really important is you just have that single image which is applying to all of your different placements. Okay, so you're not actually going to run this ad. This is literally just a setup ad, a template ad. So go in, select your media, and just have one image which you're going to use as the template. What I see people do as well is sometimes people will edit every single one of these for different placements, and they'll resize things, they'll change things. And again, a lot of the time Ads Uploader can deal with this, but there are also cases where there's so much information in here, so many different parameters, so many different variables, that it's difficult for the app to recognize exactly how to clone it appropriately, which can lead to errors. So one single ad, one single image, and set a primary text. I would advise just setting one primary text, otherwise it's going to annoy you having to remove them when it comes to setting the preset. One headline, one description, one call to action. And I would advise setting your creative enhancements how you would normally like to opt into them. So set this up however you want. The app should be able to recognize how you have set them. But also all of these options are configurable in the app. All we're doing is setting a base template. We're not saying that this is something which you have to use for the rest of time. It's just about setting a template. So when that is complete, you can publish this ad. And that's going to publish to your ad account. getting an error there because this campaign is not funded correctly. It's just for testing. So I'm going to remove, I'm just going to turn this off as well. So you don't need, that's not the right ad, that's not the duplicate. This one here doesn't have a preview yet, but that doesn't matter either. So I'm going to turn it off because you don't need to run the ad. Again, it's just about creating a template. So now if we go over to Ads Uploader, I'm going to find that ad. So I think that was in angle 1. Okay, so if I'm just going to do a refresh on this because we've just updated the information, go to angle 1, and we can now see we have basic template. Okay, so now we know this ad structure is a very simple ad for the app to clone, and it has all the elements that we would like in our app. It has the correct page setup, it has the correct creative enhancements. It's set up exactly how we want it. So now we can actually save this as a preset. So I'm going to keep the same name as my campaign, but you can put whatever you want in here, and I'm going to call this basic. Save as preset. So now when I come back to the ad in the future, I actually already have a preset, so I don't need to go through the select ad options anymore. I can just go and know that this is going to create an ad using the campaign structure and the ad structure, which I've already set up and approved. I know it's all healthy, I know everything is how it should be, and in the future I can just directly go to this preset and crack on with whatever I'm doing here. So now you can go ahead and choose your options. You can set this up however you want. You can create a new ad set. You can create new ad sets per upload. You can divide into different ad sets. You can use your custom name patterns. Again, all we're doing is just laying out a template which we can use for the future. So I'm going to put all of this into a new ad set, which we're going to call ad set test. And yeah, I'm not going to change anything else because I'm not fussy about that. It's just for testing. But of course, so we can see the origin headline, the origin primary text, the origin description, call to action, website URL, and display URL. Of course, you can go ahead and change any of this, or you can add more headlines as you need to, or more primary texts. So none of that changes. You can also go ahead and change any of your creative enhancements as you need to, or use the meta defaults. Whatever you want to do. You can choose to create the ads in pause status, or you can just create them live. So I'm going to assume that I've uploaded all my media. I'm happy with everything. I've set everything up how I want to. Maybe I put in another headline, or let's just replace the headline, in fact. And this is my ad. I'm happy with everything. I'm ready to upload. So now I can just click create ads, and that's going to go ahead and create the ads for me. So you can see how useful this is. So when you come into Ads Uploader, you already know you have a preset based on a template, which is, is how the you want the ad to be set up. So my recommendation is for each campaign that you would like to continue uploading into, and typically I see within an ad account, people normally use around 1 or 2 campaigns per product. So this isn't actually a ton of work to get set up in the first place, but it is going to put you on good standing to use the app, as streamlined as you possibly can in the future. So all of those have now been created. If I go over to Ads Manager, if I refresh, I can see the ad set. Now, one thing to note on this as well, if you ever see Ads Uploader say that the ads have been uploaded, but you can't find them in Ads Manager, sometimes there is a lag when the Meta Ads Manager, can take a minute or two before they show them. So if you're seeing that, don't press the refresh button here. You can actually press refresh in the browser, and normally you'll be able to find them then. So this is just a Ads Manager glitch. If I go over to ad sets, you can see all of my assets are uploaded here. These aren't particularly exciting ads, they're just placeholder ads really. But there we go, everything is set up exactly as I would like it to be. Now if I want to go back to our ads and basically choose a new construct, I could do that. So I'm going to duplicate this one now. So this is an ad which is a little bit different because this ad actually has site links. So if I go down here, you'll see I have site links turned on, so you can see the site links in here. So again, maybe I want a different construct of an ad which has site links enabled on it, and I've already set the site links within Ads Manager before. Again, I'm just copying over. So I'm going to call this site link template. And I can go over, and again, I'm just going to use one ad. Now, this has already got a simple single image uploaded, so nothing complicated about this. All my parameters look good. I've got site links on. I'm not running a catalog on this one, but if you want to turn that on, you can do, because that will enable different creative enhancements if you're using catalogs. Again, just one single image uploaded here, and I'm going to reduce this down to one primary text. Well, let me actually leave this with 2 primary texts and 2 headlines, because I'll show you why that's probably not a good idea. And I'm going to leave the creative enhancements as is. So again, I'm going to publish this ad. So this one is called Site Link Template, and this is living in my general ad set. So if I go over to Ads Uploader again, I'm actually going to go here. Let's move my face, close this down, and let's go find that. So that was in the general ad set. Site link template. And the great thing is, if you use presets, once the preset is saved, it's there forever or until you delete it. So again, so this is going to prompt me to name this. So I'm going to use the campaign name. I'm going to call it site links and save preset. So now if I go to the preset panel for the API here, I can see I have 2 different presets, and I know that I have uploading into this campaign. I have a basic structure, and then I have another structure that has site links. So I'm going to select the site links one now, and I'm going to go to write a new ad set, which is going to be called site links test. I'm going to keep everything else. Now you can see what's happened here. When we actually selected a ad which had had a pair of primary text and a pair of headlines, that means that whenever we use that preset, it's actually going to use that setup. So this is why I recommended actually reducing this down for the sake of the template to just one of each. So I'm going to publish that again, because if I had to repeatedly edit multiple primary text and headlines or delete them, it would annoy me a little bit. So now I'm going to go back and we're going to go through this process again. Because we've updated the ad, we should have a different configuration that we can save down. So site link template, go down here, and you can see now we just have one headline, one primary text. Okay, that's nice. I'm going to save that as a preset. So for now, I'm going to have to call this site links 2, but I can go in and I can delete this one and then call this one site links. Okay, so now we're going to use this site links, and it's going to go into the site links test ad set that I set up all this earlier. I'm not going to change anything in here, so just all the default settings. But you know, if you wanted to create different permutations around each ad or whatever, that's perfectly fine to do. Again, this is just about setting up templates and making using Ads Uploader as kind of streamlined as possible. So now we can go to create ads, and it's going to begin uploading into the new ad set which I created called Site Links Test. And hopefully after a minute or 2 that will all be ready. So you can see how powerful that is if you get into the habit of creating reusable templates in your Ads Manager and save them down to presets. Now, presets are saved per ad account. So, you can have unlimited number of presets, an unlimited number of ad accounts. So it just makes your life a lot easier when you come in to do your work if everything's already set up and ready to go. So now if I go over to Ads Manager, I'm going to go over to Ad Sets, and we can see I have my site links test here. And if I go in and I look at this one, we should see that we have site links on, so you can actually see the site links in here. So that's how you really can get the most out of Ads Uploader when using the API route. Set yourself up for success with simple structures for the ad to easily clone, save them down as presets, use them forever, and just jump into the tool. Whenever you upload ads, upload your media, select the preset, and go straight ahead. Easy stuff.